Hi, Delvin.
Hi.
Welcome to Parental Vision podcast. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here. It was
Absolutely.
great to meet you. And I'm happy that my boy Steve is doing very good and happy for his show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So obviously you're here because you're a father.
Yes.
So how many kids do you have?
5. I have 5 kids.
Father of 5. Wow. Yes. Let's dive right into that. Let's go through each child. Names, give me their ages, all that good stuff.
Okay. Should I start with the oldest or youngest?
Yeah, let's go to the oldest and work our way down. Yeah.
Well, like I was telling you, I pretty much started all over. I have the oldest is about to be 22. Valentine's Day, as a matter of fact, the 14th.
Aww.
He'll be 22. Then I got the other boy that has just turned 11. I got the young girl that turned 5. And then the little boy that turned 2. And I got the other little girl that just, she turned 4.
Oh my goodness. You got a full house.
Got a full house.
And how was that? Is it driving you crazy?
Oh, yeah. It's like, remember I was telling you, it's like a bittersweet type of thing where I love my kids. They're like, they make my day, no matter how, life can be it's a little difficult sometimes. It could be, there's moments where you have bad days. But, when you got your kids coming, running, and jumping on top of you, everything fades away, all those problems. So it's a great thing. I'm not going to lie about it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work, a lot of days where you worry because, you always worry about your kids. No, it doesn't matter how old they are.
Right.
You're always worrying about your kids. But it's great. It's great. Overall, it's great.
Overall, it's great. Thumbs up.
Yes.
So when you first had your first son, who's 22 years old, you said, right?
Yes.
What was that experience like becoming a father? Because I'm sure. How old were you?
I was 22.
You were 22.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So how was that? Like, what were you doing at that time? Were you I know you're a boxer.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. It was very scary. It was scary. It was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary for me because I was so disciplined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your boxing is a very hard sport. You got to dedicate yourself 100%.
Right.
You can't think about. You got to erase, especially the woman. You got to erase them. Erase them. They're the last thing, and then. But I had my, my wife at the time. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't expected. It wasn't expected. So I was afraid. I was really scared. At the time, I was already a professional in my career.
Yeah.
I was in camp. So I didn't really have much time to go back home, so it was a process.
Wow.
It was a process. But to be honest, it's like, it really, having my first child, it's like it really it matured my mind, my thinking, my way of thinking. And it gave me more motivation to even work harder at my career, at my sport. So like I said, it was tough at the moment. At the beginning when it first happened. But then you're like, listen, I'm 22. I got a career. I was making good money already. So I'm like, let's do this. I got this.
Really?
Yeah.
And when he got here, did you still have it, or were you like, oh shit?
Well, a lot of stuff happened in this 9 month. Like I was in camp, like I was telling you, I was already professional.
Yeah.
My career, I had a manager, I had a promoter. So I was making good money already, but there was a fallout at camp where me and my manager, we didn't see eye to eye, and I took a different route, to better my career. So I kind of like gave myself, I think, if I can remember right, it might have been maybe like a year. So I left camp, I came back home. So it took me like a year to find, because you don't want to run into like a bad manager or bad promoter. So it took me about a year to find that person. So in that year, I couldn't just sit down. I had to work. I already had my first apartment. My first child was born. So it was, it got a little scary again.
Yeah.
But I got through it. It was a good experience because then I got me like a local job,
What did you do on the off time?
I don't know. That time it was like, you had to go through like an agency because I never worked, so I didn't have any work
Experience.
So you don't get hired. You know what I'm saying? So I went through an agency, and then I remember like I started like they got me like a job. Like I said, yo, I do whatever you have. I gotta work.
Yeah.
So I just started like painting and stuff, and then I got friendly with the guy from the company that got into the company. It's like step by step. So it was a great experience. Like when you gotta work to get something, and then you get it, you feel amazed. So it was good. It was a good experience.
That's good. And what was your oldest son like growing up?
Oh man, it was amazing. I mean, I was his hero. Like this kid, like he didn't want to leave my side.
Yeah.
So it was good because then I got back into boxing again full time, and like I took him places, and it was good. It was really good.
How were you able to balance the time once you went back to boxing?
Well, it was something sacred. Like once I got a fight coming up, I had to be in camp like for at least 3 months. So they knew that, like he got used to that. Like, I used to take him to camp with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, he loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like being in camp, for me, sometimes it gets a little rough because you're so focused on the fight.
Yeah.
That you don't think nothing else but boxing and but that fight and studying your opponent, watching the opponent, like the opponent fights every day, and you sit down for like hours and hours, and then all you do is exercise and boxing. Like I will get up at 5 a.m, do my running, come back, eat my breakfast, then train like around like 2 o'clock, and then after training, come back, rest again, and then go back to the gym. It's all day. It's an all day thing.
Wow.
But my son, he will have fun, just looking at me training and like going through all the process. We'll take like long walks. I will usually be at like a Lake George, like in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
So I had a cabin, so he enjoyed all that.
That's nice.
It was good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So 5 kids all together.
Yes.
Were any of your kids planned?
I think that I could think it was like the 11-year-old.
The 11-year-old? Tell me about that process. I know about the process, but like, how did you like decide you were ready to have another kid? Because you were in the prime of your career at that point, I'm
I'll
sure.
tell you the story, but it's crazy.
I want to hear
it's
crazy.
It's a little embarrassing, but it's crazy.
I want to hear embarrassing and crazy.
Right. So that's what happened. Me and my wife, we had like a falling out, right?
Okay.
So like we split, like, you know what I'm saying? I moved by myself, and it just wasn't working out because at that time I was young, and I was traveling a lot. I was always in a spotlight, you know what I'm saying? So you're young, you don't really care about the repercussion or whatever's gonna happen. So we had like a falling out, and I didn't take it serious. I'm like, I got this. She ain't gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it came to a time where I felt like she was like really moving away, you know what I'm saying? So you know what? So I started talking, and I was like, I'm gonna get her pregnant. I planned it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get her pregnant. So,
oh my God.
And it just happened. Like the first time we had sex, after we started talking again.
Yeah.
She got pregnant, and that's how it happened.
Oh my God.
It was like a crazy
trap.
Yeah. Yeah. I did what you ladies usually think you would do to the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Usually it's the lady that thinks.
Yeah.
If I get pregnant, I got him.
But in this case, the men are trapping.
Yeah.
Did you tell her the truth after?
Yeah.
What did she say? What was her reaction?
She pretended like she was upset, but she really wasn't. You know
Yeah.
She was happy because she always like we were like high school sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been like I think like her only man. You know what I'm saying?
Aww.
According to her. So she was happy.
That's beautiful. High school sweethearts.
We went through some rough times. Like every young couple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to all the way from high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How were you able to navigate through that? Parents and boxing and marriage.
It's a lot of tough times, I really truly think that it's just the way she was, the type of person that she is. You know what I'm saying? She has like a great heart, and she just said that she didn't want another man, you know what I'm saying, in her life.
She didn't want anybody else but you.
I guess.
That makes me feel really happy inside.
Oh, yeah?
That's beautiful. So tell me the differentials in how you raise your boys versus how you raise your girls.
Oh, my little girl, man, she's feisty.
Yeah.
She's very girly.
She a princess.
Yeah, she's like a little, and like I try to not to show her that too much because she's getting a little spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her mom, I said, listen, you better you really gotta stay on top of her. No, because it's like she goes out with her mom, like when her mom goes do her nails.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to go and do her nails. She's very girly, but she's getting to the age now where she's listening more. She's like she's already 5, so she's like growing up now. Like she's like a little grown up little girl.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful process. It's completely different than the boys.
Absolutely.
It's like completely different.
And how are you with your boys? Obviously, I'm sure you're much harder on them.
Rough. I'm rough with the boys.
Rough.
Yeah, like rough in a good way. Not like I don't be yelling at them, but like I tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a little rough.
How do you discipline your kids?
I take things away from them.
Oh, no pow pow.
No, I don't really believe in that.
Me neither.
Because I was raised that way.
Me too.
And it's like, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It makes it worse.
It does.
I honestly believe that as a parent that has young kids, they should like really read a lot and like really study how mind of a child thinks.
Yeah.
And I think that I can honestly say that that's like one of the best help that I got. Like I really study myself.
Yeah.
Like I look into kids, how does a kid mind works. You know what I'm saying? That will help a lot. That's what I came to find out at my age. I wouldn't say like at my first child, because my first child, he was easy to deal with because he was so much into me. Like he would just listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to yell. Like he was so attached to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he would really listen. Like, yeah, I give him good stuff and I give him a lot of stuff, but he never showed like he was spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Like he respect me so much to nowadays, still to this day. And it's like, it was easy with him. Now the kids I have now, like the young kids, well, the little boy 2 years old, forget about it. He's like a storm, like in the house. Like, you don't stop. You gotta be on top of him for everything.
Yeah.
But the other kid, like the little girl, she listens, but she's a hard head sometimes.
She's sassy.
Yeah. Too much.
And your 11-year-old? How's he?
Yeah, he's getting so much better. Like he's starting to remind me of his older brother. Like I sit down with him and I talk to him and he listens, and it's getting much better.
That's good.
It's getting much better.
Which one of your kids are more like you, personality wise?
The oldest.
The oldest?
Yeah.
I figured you were gonna say that.
The oldest. He's like he's like a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you see all his friends, like they follow him. So he's like me. He's like really outgoing. And he likes to accomplish stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are there any mistakes that you've made as a parent that you wish you could correct?
I'm sure I did many, but right off my head, like, yes. One big mistake I made, and it might sound stupid, but I remember like my son, when it came to his age that he was going to high school, like coming out of middle school, he got approved for this technical school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, you got to go. He's like, yo, Bob, I don't have any friends. They're like, no, you make new friends. You're going to need this. And he made it, And when he got there, like, he hated his school. And I'm going to, like, explain to you why I think it was a mistake. Because at technical school, you can do so many things. You come out of the technical school and you already have a career. You know what I'm saying? Or at least something to fall back on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because let's think about it. College is hard nowadays.
I agree.
If you think about it, like, yeah, you go to college and you do this, but by the time you get out of college, unless you have so much money, you're going to basically work just to pay off. I'm not saying for kids not to go to college. That's not what I'm saying, but it is tough. I mean, you gotta, unless you, like I say, if you come out from a wealthy family where you have it all, you know what I'm saying, or you're so smart that you get some college degree or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But technical school is like, you can do a lot of stuff. And in the meantime, when you go to college, you got something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And my son after 3 months, I kind of like fell into his game, and I'm like, all right, so fine. I took him out. And I'm not saying he's doing bad. He's doing, he got his own business now. He just started out his truck business, and I told him, you started out truck business, you could have been doing something better coming out of technical school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of regret that. Like I listened to him instead of being a parent.
You didn't push him.
Exactly, I didn't push him.
Okay.
That's one thing, but thank God he listens. He's very respectful with me, and we're very tight.
Oh yeah.
Even though he got his girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend.
He's whooped.
You said he's whooped?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But she's a great person. She's a good girl though.
Oh, that's good.
She kind of pushed him a lot too, so that's good.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah. I was gonna ask you, since you said he was dating. Let's say if your other kids were dating as they get older and you didn't approve of their partner, would you tell them or would you let experience?
Definitely.
You would tell them?
I tell them. I mean, they're gonna at the end of the day they're gonna make the final decision, but I'm gonna tell them what I think. Like I told my son, like the older son, like I even like apologized to him and her like later on, but I say I apologize because I see that you guys did a lot of changes, and I like the way she pushes you and the way she really cares for him, and basically they just moved in together like not too long ago. So now I come back from the Dominican, I got her in the house, and I'm like, it's fine because she is a nice girl. She has a good heart, and she's thinking about the future, and that's my main thing. That's what I tell my son. I said, listen, do you remember you was 18? Like I told you, you're gonna be 21 like
yeah,
this?
Yeah.
And now he just told me today, as a matter of fact, damn, Papa, I'm about to be 22.
Yeah.
So yeah, I told you, bro. Like, listen, you don't have time to play around. This is a time that when you're young, you gotta realize what you want to do in life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because when you be 25, 30, and you're living good, you're gonna really appreciate it. You're gonna thank me over and over and over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But kids, when they're young, they don't think that way.
They don't.
Unless they have a parent on top of them, like me with my boy. And listen, time flies by, my boy. I'm 43 already. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was your age the other day.
Yeah.
It seems like the other day, but like you gotta have a foundation, and that's the tough part. You know what I'm saying? Like me, when I came up, I was on my own. You know what I'm saying? I was on my own since I was 13.
Really? Let's talk about your childhood. How come? What was that like?
My parents come from the Dominican Republic. They don't really, when they from like really a countryside, like no education whatsoever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like very poor family, and we come to this country. I come here, and when you come from the country like Dominican Republic, nowadays not so much because it really has grown a lot. But back in those days, like I come from like the country where there's no electricity, we didn't have TV, we don't have none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you come here, it's a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different world. And then my father at that time he was making money, but then when I got here, he got deported.
Your father got deported.
So it was just me, my mom, my older sister, and my young brother, and living off the government. You know what I'm saying? So I was living in the hood until I started boxing.
And what age did you start boxing?
No, till I turned pro.
So you turned pro. Yeah. Okay. Because you said you were on your own since you were 13. How did that come about?
Well, because that's when my father got deported. So now my mom, she's not she's a great mom, like one of the best things in my life, to be honest. But she didn't really have the knowledge or the education to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So we basically just live off the government and the projects. And it was tough. So at 13, I gotta make my own money. I gotta do my own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
To take care of your mother.
Yeah, I gotta take care of everything.
Wow. So you were kind of forced to be a man.
But coming from the Dominican Republic, I think it helped me a lot because I started working over there when I was 7. I was already at the field working. You know what I'm saying? 7, I was at the field working because we were living in the countryside. So I was already at 7 years old. I was already working at the field, so I didn't mind working. You know what I'm saying? So when you get here, it's like, all right, it's hard, but I just got to work. I was working at the field over there from sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? So that made me the person that I am nowadays. It's like, And then when I got into boxing, you wouldn't be able to understand, because even if I tell you about boxing, is like, it's such an intense sport that when you do it, nothing else is hard in life. For me, like nothing right now is like, what do I want to do? I want to do this. All right, that's not hard. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You would, nobody can understand that unless you really step into the ring.
Right.
Or did the process to get ready for a fight. That's really hard work.
So do you use the principles that you learned from boxing to raise your kids?
I use that, and I also use, when I was in Dominican Republic, when I was 7 years old at the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Working. To me, I think about it, and it was like the best life, because it was a clean life for me.
Okay.
You know? And then, but there was a lot of obstacle. And it's normal in life. We all go to different, it might be yours, might be harder than mine, or my, you know what I'm saying? But you go through so many things in life that it kind of, once you get to my age, it's like, yo, I went through this, I went through that.
Yeah.
That's it. What else? You know what I mean?
I understand. So
I think that life, when you're at that age, that's your foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to decide what's going to happen when you get to be my age.
I agree.
It's hard, but if you make it, that's it.
So if one of your kids wanted to go into boxing like you, how would you feel about that?
My 11-year-old, he wants to box. You know what I'm saying? I teach him. My oldest son, he knows how to box. I taught him how to box, because boxing gives you this confidence.
Yeah.
And it also, it's a great sport to keep yourself in shape, and like, and the discipline. The discipline is amazing. Like, if you can really box and get to the level where I get,
yeah,
like, you got to recognize discipline to get there. So I didn't want them to do like competition like I did.
How come?
Because boxing is a very tough sport, mentally, physically, and then the business side is the worst.
But they had you. You're a great example. You could have navigated them through that world, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I just thought I could have done something better than boxing.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just, I don't want to, maybe I'm a little selfish, because maybe I'm thinking about myself a little bit, because I don't want to see my son in the ring, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or go through I'm not going to say they're probably going to be better off with me, because I know the business already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it just takes so much discipline, so much work. And my 11-year-old, he wants to do it. I'm like, oh, you know what? If he wants to do it, and I see that he has the talent, I wouldn't mind. And I will help him out to the end.
And what about the girls?
Boxing is not for girls. Exactly. I'm sorry.
Did you just say boxing?
Boxing is not for girls.
Oh, my goodness.
It sucks when I see a lady in the ring boxing. It sucks.
Okay.
It just sucks. It's ugly.
Okay.
It's ugly.
We're all entitled to our opinion. That's fine.
I don't like to see what guy likes a girl? I don't think any guy would like to see a girl get hit.
No. Okay, when you put it like that, nobody wants to see a girl get hit.
It's just,
but girls kick ass.
I'm not saying otherwise. I've never really seen a girl kick ass like in the ring, for real. I see one lady.
Who?
She was like a man. What's her name? She was a champion. I can't think of her name right now, but she was so good that.
You mean Muhammad Ali's daughter?
Nah.
Okay.
She's just famous because of Muhammad Ali. She's good looking.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it's because if you look at the men's boxing and the girl boxing, to me, is if you as a boxer, you're like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. But that lady, I'm sure, I don't know if you heard the movie, the $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby.
She's the boxer. She's the one, Lucrea. I can't think of her name right now. She was good. In fact, not too many people know this, but she knocked down sparring. I saw her sparring with Sugar Mosley, and she knocked him down.
Really?
Yes. Nobody knows. Not too many people know this.
Are there videos out there of that? I might have to go check that out.
There are, but they probably try to disappear them. I don't know.
Now that we done said it, it's going to disappear. It's going to vanish in thin air.
It's like, yeah, she was good.
Okay.
I don't know, me. I consider myself a gentleman. I don't like to see a girl get hit.
I respect that.
I don't like that.
I respect that 100%.
I don't support the female box.
Okay.
I don't support that. And they a lot of them, because they're very intense with that. The ladies boxer, like they're really intense. Like,
Yeah.
And like I had a really close friend of mine. She was a champion also, female.
Mm-hmm.
And like I never brought that topic up, but she brought it up one day. She asked me, I said, "Listen, do you really want to hear the truth? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth."
Yeah, yeah.
No, Delvin, come on, I want to hear the truth. I said, "It sucks, man. I hate it."
Oh, wow.
Like she stopped talking to me for a whole year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
But she asked me.
Yeah, and she asked you,
want me to
right?
lie?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't ever be like I don't ever like I don't really give out like okay I hate, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you.
I'm going to give you my opinion, right?
And I was a boxing analyst for like 11 years for ESPN and HBO, and like I always spoke the truth. Like
Yeah.
that's my job. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
I got a lot of people like mad at me, like boxers that. There was a Dominican boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He became a champion, but I never really thought much of him. Like, not much of him. Like that sounds ugly, but because I did a couple of his fights.
Yeah.
And like I would say exactly what was gonna happen, and it happened. And like the last fight that I remember that he got really upset with me. He was fighting this champion. I'm like, I'm being analyzing the fight as I'm talking about the fight. I'm like. Now, what he's doing wrong, what he's always done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He never corrected his mistake, and he's going to pay for it tonight.
Right.
And you'll see it because he's facing somebody, a champion, that's going to, is going to take advantage of his mistake.
Right.
And I'm talking, and the guy gets knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly what I say. And then, like, the whole Dominican media was just like, oh, you Dominican, you talking. I'm like, listen, that's my job.
Yeah.
It happened. What I told you was going to happen, happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Since I met him, he'd been making the same mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
He'd never correct the mistakes. And I told you guys that when he step up to the A level, he's going to pay for the mistake. And that's what happened. So you're not going to look me look bad, do my job because you want me to lie.
Exactly. To appease them. Right.
It happened a lot, but then people started to understand, listen, I'm a professional analyst and I'm a professional boxer. My job is to say what I see and try to correct it, you know what I'm saying? So, but the female boxers are very passionate about that topic.
Yeah.
So I never talk about that.
Unless
they ask me.
Oh, boy. Well, it's okay. We're entitled to our opinion. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's nice to see both sides of the spectrum anyway.
Yes.
So, you live in the Dominican Republic.
I just moved back to the Dominican Republic like 2 years ago, but I'm back and forth. I gotta be honest. I love my country. It's like paradise over there, but I don't like the system. So when I be there for like 2 or 3 months, like I miss, especially Danbury. I miss Danbury because I just feel so safe in Danbury.
Oh yeah.
I just feel safe, and I know I was raised there.
Okay. So why did you move back? Your kids are in the Dominican Republic as well?
Yes.
What made you want to move back?
I just felt like, to be honest, for me and my wife, I felt like we needed a whole different scenario, like a whole different
Change of scenery?
change. Exactly, scenery. That's the proper word. Yes. And so I told her, I said, listen, just put in your mind that we go on a vacation for 2 years. All right. We're gonna give 2 years. We're going to go live the experience. The kid's going to be in school over there for 2 years. And it's vacation because, But now she don't want to come back. She love vacation.
I don't blame her. I wouldn't come back either.
She don't want to come back. It's like, all right, I'm fine. I'm traveling back and forth,
Yeah.
every 2 months.
For work?
Yeah, I got a couple of business here in Denver.
Understood. So how is the system in the Dominican Republic, the school system, how is it different from here in America?
Well, the school where I have my kids is very expensive, and it's great.
It's private school.
It's private school.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you don't want public school in the Dominican.
Oh, I wouldn't know. You got to tell me. I don't.
for kids from here now. Now, the reason why I did that was because first it was safe for the kids, and I don't want them to lose the English. You know what I'm saying? So the school that they're going right now, is like English is the first language and Spanish is the second.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're learning Spanish, but English is the first language in school. Like you go to school and like everybody speaks English, like
Okay.
proper English.
And do you speak Spanish to them only in the house?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I think I speak both, a little bit of both.
Okay.
But they teach them Spanish at school, so. And I was very surprised with my 11-year-old. Like, he speaks very good Spanish now.
Really?
Yeah, to me, he's like, he reads and, well, like, because, like, when I travel, like, I make sure, like, I read with him, like, at least half an hour, 20 minutes on the phone. So we were doing that for, like, a while. And he learned how to, like, fluent Spanish, read Spanish. So it was great. It's a great school. And the good thing is, like, whatever they do there, if when we move back, is valid here.
Oh, that's good.
So they're not gonna be,
Left behind. Yeah.
Left behind.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's a good school.
Okay.
It's good. Like, it's very organized.
Okay, well, with the way the world is, I mean, the way the world is as a whole, but I mean, you did say you might move back. So I'm sure you see the
I'll
news.
definitely move back.
Okay, well, see, I'm sure you see the news with how the school shootings happen and the bullying and things like that. Does that make you apprehensive to move your children back and have them go to school here in America?
I was thinking about that, and because when I went to school, like, public school was great, but now I don't know, man. Now it's like, so now I'm like, damn, I might have to, like, keep paying the private school here when they come back. All depends.
It depends.
When when I'm ready to come back, or at least my wife, because I guess we got to do the research again.
Yeah.
She worked in school here for like a while, like many years.
She worked in the school.
Yeah, she worked in the school system, and everything was good. But now I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I asked all my parents that, because for me, my daughter just had a lockdown 2 days ago, but they didn't tell us until I didn't get the email till 6:00. I'm very upset about that.
Insane.
And it was like a student brought something to the school. They won't tell you what they brought to the school, but it's scary when you see stuff like that.
Yeah. So they put me in the high school Hall of Fame over in Danbury.
Nice.
And like every year they would call me, and would talk to the kids, and
Yeah.
I forgot what it's like. They do some kind of ceremony or something. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
And I felt sad for the kids, for the high school kids. It's like, you go to high school now, bro. It's like you're in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, compared to where I went to high school.
Oh wow.
It's like, now you can't do this. They got a metal detector at the door, and it's like, oh my God, this has changed a lot.
Wow. Where was this?
In high school in Danbury.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't know they had metal detectors.
Yeah, everything is like wow.
That's nerve-wracking.
This is sad for the kids. Like,
this is really happening.
Remember when that was like the best time of my life. Those 4 years in high school was like, man, it was like the best time of my life.
Yeah.
So much fun. But you don't have to worry about all of this crazy stuff that's going on nowadays,
Right. And how do you feel about social media today? Do you think that social media is more of an influence in the household with the kids more than the parents?
Listen, whoever in their right mind thinks that it's not, is either crazy or stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is, it comes with the responsibility of being a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on top of your kids.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my son. He's 11. He has a phone. You know what I'm saying? But he has a timer, and he got restrictions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my little girl, she be in a tablet, but she has restriction.
Yeah.
And she has a timer. That's what the parents. That's your job.
You have to step up.
You
Yeah.
got to step up. So, but because if it's not the media, social media, it's always going to be something else.
Right.
And that's why we call parents.
That's true.
That's the way I think. You know what I'm saying? There's always something else. When I was growing up, okay, we didn't have social media, but there was something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I live in the projects. There was always shootouts. You know what time you got to be at home. I mean, there's always something as parents.
Absolutely.
So if it's not social media, it's
the next thing's coming. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In the world, the life that we live in nowadays is just getting faster and faster.
Absolutely.
Every day there's something new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, parents.
Do you think that honesty is the best policy when raising your kids, or do you think that sometimes you should shelter your children from certain things?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Do you think honesty is the best policy when talking to your children, or do you think sometimes you should shelter your children from things that happen in the real world?
You know what I'm saying? When it comes, yeah, honesty is very important, of course, but there's as parents, let's say my wife and I, there's stuff that you cannot, kids should not get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's certain honesty between us as parents
Mm-hmm.
that my 11-year-old is not gonna, it's not gonna do him any good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the tough part about being a parent,
Mm-hmm.
the balance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the toughest part of being a parent. Like, let's say my son, my 20-year-old, he's about to be 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him and I, we have a relationship like we boys. But he knows the day that we boys and the day that we're not boys. The day I'm always your father. You know what I'm saying? So that is the tough part, that balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, there's some things that he knows. Like, yo, hey, I'm not your boy, man. Like, I'm not your boy. I'm your father.
So you know how to draw the line.
Exactly.
Don't try it.
Don't try it. Don't even try it. Because, kids, you know that.
Has he ever tried you?
Of course.
Oh, wow.
And that's the thing, kids. And excuse me for what I'm going to tell you, but kids are almost like you ladies. Like ladies.
Us ladies.
They always try to see how far they can go. You know
Push the envelope.
Yeah.
Don't push the red button.
You know what I'm saying? They always try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me see how far can I go today. And that's the same thing with kids. Even my 2-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Especially him, that's how it is. So it's like a great experience when you have a young child. It's like you see it grow, and it's like step by step.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's nerve-wracking sometimes, especially for the mom.
Yeah.
For me, not so much, because I kind of like, I'm not the type of person that, I don't get scared very, very easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get like very hyped very easy. I'm very laid back, and I very think about things.
Very
before I do it,
collected.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, and again, going back to my career and all this stuff, it comes from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go in front of 20,000 people for a championship fight,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, if you don't know how to calm your nerves, you're screwed. Like, you lost the fight right there and then.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it comes from all that, from all the experience.
Okay.
But yes, it could be a very rough role, bringing up 5 kids.
Yeah.
1 is hard.
Definitely. Is there things that you do with your little ones that you wish you could have done with your oldest?
Yes.
Such as?
Time. I have so much more time, and also remember, I had my first kid when I was 22. You don't think the same. I'm
That's
43
true.
now. It's like, back in those days, like, you don't think so much of, nowadays it's like, when I go down to Dominican, like, before I leave, I'm like thinking, okay, what's gonna make my kid happy? What can I do with them so they can be happy, so they can enjoy the time?
Yeah.
Where am I gonna take them? Like, I search all the parks, I search everything. Like, what do they like?
Yeah.
Back in those days, I didn't have the time to think about that, or I didn't have the I wasn't. Maybe it's a little. You don't think too much. You don't think so much about that kid. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have the experience. Like, what's gonna make a kid happy?
Yeah.
But that's a big difference now. Now it's like, I pretty much retire. I don't work. Yeah, I got business, but I got people taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I can come and go whenever I want.
So you have more time, essentially.
More freedom.
Yeah, more freedom. Exactly, more freedom.
Yeah.
Well, throughout your whole entire career, your life in general, like any regrets?
Yes.
Any? I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that.
Yes, always regret. I gotta say, one of my biggest regret was their business decision with my career.
Yeah.
And I don't know if to call it regret. It's just that when you don't have the knowledge of something, but I do think I was very. I trust too many people. I was very trust. What's the word? Trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
Very trusting.
Trusting.
Yeah.
And when it comes to business, you can't be like that.
Right.
Especially boxing. I would say any sport,
Mm-hmm.
but boxing is the worst because boxing doesn't have like boxing is like a what's the word like it's not like a team. It's like if you see like the NBA, they have their own federation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boxing is like a everybody's is for each other. It's not
It's
for
a one-man
if,
show.
exactly. It's like so let me give you an example. It's like every state has a commissioner for
Yeah.
boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So every state has different rules. If something happens, like the only person that can look out for you is your manager or your promoter.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time they don't because they only think about money because you're a money sign for them. You know what I'm saying? If they see, so it's a very hard business.
Right.
You cannot there's nobody you can trust.
Understood.
So I was very trusting, and there was some really bad business decision that I went along with my
Mm-hmm.
manager where one step like one decision could just ruin your whole career.
Right.
And you know, sometimes you get tied down with a promoter that's not doing anything for you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're stuck because you signed that contract. You're stuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of bad decisions,
Understood.
business wise.
Wow. Okay. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Me too. I haven't really touched like base on this conversation in a long time.
Yeah. Well, you
Yes.
did very well. I really enjoyed it. Seriously.
Thank you. Me too.
So before we wrap, I want to ask you one more question. Tell me 5 things that you feel make up a great father.
5 things. Well, you know, there's so many things, but let's start by. It also depends on like I think support your
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
You know, support. And what I was telling you, educate yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta educate yourself because kids don't think the way we think. And I don't. You know what? It's crazy because I don't ever hear anybody talking about that. You know, it's like you dealing with a child, and you gotta like learn how their mind thinks. So I think you gotta put emphasis to learning about your child. You know.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when you meet a couple, right?
Mhm.
Like when you meet a guy, or you gotta get to know that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it can work. I see like it's the same thing with a kid. You gotta get to know your child, right? But I would really say something that I never had, and I think it's like a main thing in a child is support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you as a child, when you feel that you're being supported by your mom and your father, you feel like you accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the main things. Of course, education, you gotta show them respect. It goes, you know,
Hand in hand.
hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Respect uh, for everything in this world.
Yeah.
Respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it, like maybe I'm going too deep, but if you think about it, it's like everything that goes around the world,
Mm-hmm.
like all the best stuff that happened, if there was respect, it would not happen. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna treat you bad if I got respect. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's like that having respect for everybody, it doesn't matter who it is, that will solve like so many problems in this world. If you think about it.
That's true.
Like me, like I don't care who you are, I respect you.
Yeah.
I'm saying you respect me, I'm gonna respect you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you respect for the first day I meet you. You know what I'm saying? Now it depends. If you don't show me respect back, then of course I'm just gonna. I don't want you near me. I don't want you in my circle. But yes, respect, support. So it's so important in a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, support, respect, and show him from your experience as an adult. That's how you show a child. That's and that has worked very well with me. And my oldest is like, Delvin, his name is Delvin Jr. I'm like, Delvin,
Mm-hmm.
if you do this, this is gonna happen. I'm telling you, everything you're going through, I've been through a long time ago already.
Yeah.
and even like harder than what you're going through, because he hasn't gone through anything hard. He had everything with me. So, I think it's just making a kid understand, not just telling him, do this. A kid is not going to understand that. It's a different mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to explain to him. As a child, explain to him why.
Share your experience.
Exactly. Why is this going to happen? Why are you telling me this? You know what I'm saying? But I've seen parents that just because I'm your father, I'm going to tell you what to do, you got to do it.
Right.
You're not teaching your kid anything.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main thing for me.
Well said. I love those core values. Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for coming to sit down and talk with me.
You. It was great.
I appreciate you.
I love it. It's great.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, that's a wrap for Parental Vision. Once again, I'm Tiana Caprice. Until next time, bye.